Fact until June the 15th. All right, let's bring in Dr. Nina Shapiro from UCLA School of Medicine to get her take. Dr. Nina, as always, we appreciate you being with us here at 7 o'clock. What is your take on the announcement from California health officials today?
Well, I think there are two ways to look at it. One is that we still have a mask mandate. The other is to look at it as they will lift a mask mandate in 4 weeks. And that is something that we are getting, and it is something called time, as Dr. Galley said. We need a little time as a state to figure this out. There will be some places, I will tell you, that hospitals and doctors' offices will continue to require masks, as well as many businesses that may choose individually, if they're not part of a corporate conglomerate, that they may want to have a mask requirement for them. So it gives businesses time. 4 weeks is really a short time when we think about this pandemic. And then we'll have to see, as many of us know, the people who are vaccinated are more likely to follow this. And the people who are not vaccinated by choice will likely not be wearing their masks, mandate or no mandate.
Well, but let me, a little pushback on you, because there are a lot of other states in the union, including Democratic states with mostly progressive policies, that are getting rid of their mask mandates. The CDC, the top health officials in the entire federal government, say that it's okay for you not to wear a mask if you have been fully vaccinated. So why do we have to wait? I mean, when we say we're going to follow the science, wouldn't that be following the science?
That's a great point. And I think that it is true that if you are fully vaccinated, meaning we'll go back to this 2 weeks status post your final dose of whichever vaccine you got, then you are very unlikely to transmit it without a mask, and you're very unlikely to get it without a mask. And that is the science of this. But California is a big state. We are bigger population-wise than many states combined, and we have a very complex population. I need not tell you that, with very wide ranges of populations. You know, for instance, some parts of LA County, some towns are 80% vaccinated, and some parts are 20% vaccinated. We have a very large population, so we have to account for everybody. I know that there are food service workers who are terrified to work because they are working in a store where people are coming in unmasked, unvaccinated, and they feel very vulnerable. And I think we have to respect what everybody is going through.
The vaccination rates, too, it's alarming in that the majority of Californians are not vaccinated at this point. 49% are, so the majority is not. I know it's just by 1%, but nonetheless, it is the majority. And then in LA County, the vaccination rates have dropped tremendously in just this last week. 130,000 fewer doses were put into arms last week than the week prior. So there's all of that vaccine hesitancy. So how much ground will we make up for in these next 4 weeks?
Well, I think we'll make up a little bit with the 12 plus. So that just started last week. And there are many 12-year-olds who are getting vaccinated, 13, 14, 15. So, you know, that accounts for hundreds of thousands. I don't know about millions within just LA County, but there will be a lot of younger people who will be getting vaccinated. So hopefully that will tick it up a little bit. And I think the outreach now is becoming a little better, and smaller clinics are giving vaccines. It's not just these large sites. So hopefully the numbers will start to improve. But I agree, it's tapered off and plummeted, that, you know, we're not going to see as much of an improvement as we've seen in the past few months.
All right, let's go through some of where things are at right now, just quickly, to give people some perspective. So let's answer some of these questions. Do I have to wear a mask outside? The answer is right now, no. You don't have to wear a mask outside if you've been fully vaccinated. And even if you haven't been fully vaccinated, Marla, nobody's going to come up to you and enforce this. Right. So for the most part, you can take off your mask outside. Okay,
let's answer another question. Do I have to wear a mask in a private business? The answer to that one right now in California is yes. Until June the 15th, a private business has the can say yes, you need to wear a mask inside my business.
Supposed to say yes.
Yes, yes.
And then we saw this incident, though, this past weekend out at a Costco, right, with Ricky Schroeder, the former child star, who's now very conservative.
Yeah, he apologized after he went head-to-head with a Costco worker about masks. Then he posted it online. Here's a look at that clip.
Give up your membership to Costco until they remove this.
Okay, well, this hasn't changed in any building in California, in any company that I'm aware of. The places I shop still require masks. But that's not the point. The point is Costco is simply abiding by the law.
So that guy is correct. Costco is abiding by the law, and Ricky Schroeder, on the facts of what the rules are at right now, is wrong. You may think that the rules are bad, but in terms of the rules, the Costco guy was following the rules. One other question. What about schools? I asked that question specifically to Dr. Galley today. He said that the current plan by the CDC is that schools will stay with masks at least through the end of this calendar year. Remember, it's going to take longer to get kids vaccinated. Young kids aren't probably going to be vaccinated at least anytime in the short term. So schools will keep those masks at least until the end of the year, so that is not going to change. The governor, though, last week, Dr. Nina, told me that schools will be entirely in person, regardless of the school, by mid-June, though. So summer school is going to be in person for people this summer. Any thoughts? Does that make sense to you, just as a last word?
Yeah, so I think that, they are trying to err on the side of caution. I think certainly for schools where we know that any child who is 11 or under has not been vaccinated, will not be vaccinated until September, October at the very earliest. I think that's really important for everybody to remain safe. I think teachers have been very concerned about this virus and very concerned about being back in person. So I think continuing that mask requirement for schools is very important. I think it's wonderful that schools will be back fully in person. I hope that students and teachers and families will feel comfortable doing so. It really is a great way to get sort of back into regular life. Obviously, private businesses need to protect themselves and need to protect others. And I think it is their need and their right to protect their people who work for them and to protect each other, because as we know, a lot of people in this county are not vaccinated.
Well, hopefully that changes in just a matter of time. Dr. Nina Shapiro, as always, we thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great night.